Good morning. You're listening to WJOB AM 1230 on your radio dial and 104.7 on the FM dial. This is the City of East Chicago show. I'm Verly Suggs. I'm the host of the show, along with the mayor of the City of East Chicago with us this morning, Mayor Anthony Copeland.
Good morning, East Chicago.
Good morning, Mayor. And the interim chief of staff, Ms. Sandra Favela. Welcome, Sandra.
Thank you. Good morning.
You know, I always say when someone takes a position as an interim, basically I always drop that interim because
Yes.
that role falls on you fully. You're responsible for it, and so the interim doesn't matter. Sandra is the new chief of staff for the City of East Chicago.
Thank you. Yes.
Welcome. Well, Mayor Copeland, it's been a while since we've had you here, so let's start out with you. What's going on with the East Chicago city? And I picked that song from now on for the City of East Chicago show, The Man in the Mirror, because that makes me think of you and the city and how the changes that have taken place since you've taken the leadership role. And so you always have great things. All the people who come on, from your chief of staff to the marina director, everyone has something positive to say about East Chicago these days.
Well, really, I tell people that East Chicago is an old city, and I tell people, but it doesn't have to be a dirty city. So we pride ourselves on keeping our city clean. That's the emphasis. My number one emphasis is keeping the city clean. Also, I tell people that one thing that humbles me has been 6 years in a row, crime has been down in the city of East Chicago. Again, that's something that we stress, that the city be clean and the city be safe. Those are two things that I stress daily to the employees as they go out in the streets.
Well, I'm sure that's part of why businesses are coming to East Chicago.
Yes, yes. And also I think that when people start to come in East Chicago, they're starting to see the tax dollars at work. We have infrastructure projects going north, south, east, and west. It's not a part of the city that you can't go into that you don't see some type of work being done.
Well, that's great, because I know in the past there were times where people felt that their districts were being neglected, and now to see work going on all throughout the city is just amazing.
And some of that, I tell people that some of that came with prioritizing where the dollars are going. If you're doing deficit spending or living in deficit, you can't build. We came in, we were able to stabilize the city financially, and now you're seeing us invest. There were times when you would have grants that required matches of an 80-20, and the city couldn't even put the 20 up to get the 80. Wow. You know, think about that. Somebody say, I'm going to give you $80 if you just put up 20, and you'll have $100, and the city could not do it. But now we're able to go out there, get the matches, and leverage our dollars across. And the same thing when it comes to our gaming dollars. We used to shore up our general fund with gaming dollars. We don't do it now. Again, we now have this money to reinvest into the city. Great.
Well, recently there was a precinct caucus in the city of East Chicago to place a councilman in a vacated position. Of course, condolences to the family of
Yes.
Councilman London.
And you know, I tell people that you're truly blessed if you can have one friend in a lifetime, a true friend. And he was my true friend. And so it left a void in my heart. I miss him because he was a person that I could talk to politically, and he was a person that I know equally cared for the city with all his heart, soul, liver,
Truly.
pancreas, just like I did. And so, yeah, I miss him. A day don't go past that I don't miss him.
Right. Well, during that caucus, you actually lost your chief of staff,
Yes.
Emiliano Perez.
Yes.
And now we have a new chief of staff. Sandra, tell us about your role and how it's been since you've been in there. It's, what, a little over a month now, or?
Actually, it's been 2 weeks and a half.
2 weeks, okay.
So the first week has actually been, I was interim human resources director. So I was doing the transition to the staff as well as the person who's handling the HR matters. So there was things I still had to take care of. But this week has been challenging. I've been involved in a lot of meetings, and I definitely am looking forward to many other meetings that are coming up, and the projects and the plans that the mayor has for the city. I've been more engaged outside because I was usually out inside of the office, so now I'm outdoors. And just to see the whole plan starting to unfold, what the mayor wants for the city, it's incredible. And I'm looking forward to working side by side with the mayor.
Well, one thing that the Mayor Copeland has is the uncanny ability to look at people and see beyond the position that they were doing and place them in the position that he sees them in. And so from you starting out in HR, not as a director, but having been in that office before and then going to being director and now chief of staff, that's just amazing. It just shows that opportunities exist.
Yeah, I was very humbled by the fact when Mayor approached me. I was shocked, and but I took on the challenge. I see his vision, and I truly want to help him. And we have a lot of department heads and staff that want to follow the mayor's vision, and I want to be part of that team.
And you know, Burley, it was easy for me to pick her because she had been doing human resources. She had been interacting with the department heads, interacting with the personnel in discipline matters, and also making knowing that they did their jobs. So it was a good fit. You know, it was a good fit. And I can remember when I came in, she was already in human resources. And I pushed and I pushed. And there were some days where she would look at me like, man, and I would push and push and push. And who knew that all of that was for a time like now?
Exactly. Well, Mayor, we all know that you don't push anyone harder than you push yourself. So most definitely, we see the progress that's taking place in the city of East Chicago on a daily basis. And I know a lot of events are, coming up.
Yeah.
Stan was on this morning to talk about Kielbasa Fest along with Dave Kruziak, and
okay.
I know that's one of your fests that's coming up this weekend. So tell us a little bit about that.
Actually, on the way here, Mayor and I were driving, and we saw some staff working at Kosciuszko Park. So even our staff out there at Public Works, they're working very hard to get this fest going. It's actually our first one, Kielbasa Fest, at Kosciuszko Park. It's tomorrow from 12 to 9, and we're looking forward to it. There are going to be 2 polka bands. Stan's been very helpful, assisting the Special Events Committee. And there's going to be food, dancing, just a lot of fun. People coming out from, near and far, and to enjoy a good time.
Well, this is the first time you've done this fest. Did this have anything to do with the statue and just saying you need to do something for Polish heritage?
I mean, yes and then no.
Okay.
I think it came out of the special events committee. They told me, Mayor, get out of the way. We getting ready to put an infusion of new ideas, a new spirit. They say we're a city of hope and progress, and we're getting ready to make some progress. Sometimes when you just keep doing the same thing, expecting different results, what they say. So they told me, get out of the way, and they wanted to get rid of the taste of East Chicago, and they wanted to put a new flair. And
How did the Fusion Fest
They
go?
say, Mayor, we want to make the Fusion. I said, who? They said, the Fusion Fest. It's going to be an infusion of music, fun, and food. And I'm looking, I said, okay, yeah, right, okay. Now here's something we've been doing for 21 years. Now all of a sudden y'all going to turn on the dime. They just say, get out of the way, Mayor. And I have to say, I'm not worried. They knocked it out of the park. They really did. Sheila E. came in. She rocked the house. They had all kind of supporting groups underneath. It was just, it was just the bomb. Then with the Kielbasa, they told me the same thing. Get out of the way, Mayor. Just let us handle this. And so then that's what I've done. I've stepped back and I've watched them grow. And the ideas is progressive, and I like what I see so far.
Fantastic. Well, we've just been joined, and I forgot to mention that, of course, Malcolm Jones is with us. He's on our cameras. But we've just been joined by an individual that we never get behind the mic here in the studios of WJOB, and that's Steve Segura. And Steve, good morning.
Good morning. This is a surprise visit. I just came to drop off some info and actually to give Malcolm a ride. But Thank you for inviting me.
Well, I know, you work closely with the mayor to make sure that all the wonderful things that are happening in the city of East Chicago are actually broadcast to the citizens, because there's nothing worse than having an event and no one knowing about it.
Yes.
You do an excellent job with the government channel, just making sure East Chicago residents are informed.
Well, you know what? We just launched a new service called Mixel that we've been contemplating on doing. We finally launched it. If you want to get notified about events, it's even easier now. You can get all your notifications straight to your phone, whether it be an emergency or an event or anything. All you have to do is text the numbers 888-777, and then right after that, just put East Chicago, hashtag East Chicago events, I believe, and that's it. All our instructions are on our website. It's really simple, and you get notifications.
And then
Whenever
also,
there's
Steve,
an
when you layer that on top of the 311
Yeah,
that we have.
there's a lot of ways you can get notified about stuff. You tune into our ECTV page on Facebook. All of our stuff is on our website as well, whether it be Twitter. We've got billboards around town, and now Mixel. You can't say you don't have an avenue to get informed. It's there now.
So is the next thing to have the whole city of East Chicago wired so you can go just wireless internet all over the city?
Well, we just completed our fiber optic loop across the whole city.
Really?
You're going to be able to, we got about, I think, 3 hotspot areas.
Yes.
Unity Plaza out at the lakefront. I know 2, at least 2. Where you
there
get
is
free
one more.
Wi-Fi. You get free Wi-Fi. in the
Really?
city. Yes.
Wow, so East Chicago, City of Progress. Well, I know there are other events that are taking place, and Steve just brought you a few more flyers, so let's,
Yes, I'm
Make
going
sure
to
we
probably
talk about
touch a little bit more about the history of it's the 37th annual of the New Edition Day. That's going to be September 1st and 2nd.
And it's a humbling event when you go to New Edition Day. I mean, they come from near and far to celebrate, to reflect back on their childhood or where they grew up at. That's one of the events that truly bring me joy, because I see the young and the old commingling together and just enjoying, just family. So, but anybody is welcome to come to the New Edition.
and that's in the
2
same
day.
field right off of Columbus Drive where it's
Yes.
been in the past? Okay.
Yeah, we witnessed that this past Saturday at Marktown, and a lot of family from far away came out.
As they
Wonderful.
celebrate their 100th anniversary
Yes.
of Marktown.
We had a family came all the way from Florida, came up, and this lady was walking around, they was doing a tour, Paul Myers was doing a tour. And man, this lady, she was literally tearing up about just looking at, going back, reflecting on her childhood home and everything, and saying, this is where I grew up at, and explaining it to the rest of her family, her extended family, that this is where she grew up. Some of her fondest memories was there. So, for me to absorb that in real time and just see it was a beautiful event. It really
Wonderful.
was. And precinct committee person, Kimberly Rodriguez, she co-hosted the event. It was just
She did a
good.
great job.
She did a great job.
Fantastic. And then before that, you had Calumet Day.
Yes.
And I know that was well attended. So East Chicago has a lot of heritage and a lot of celebrations of that heritage.
Yeah.
So go ahead, what else?
Continuing the heritage, we have on September 10th on Sunday, Mexican Independence Day. They're going to have parade and festival, and the festival is going to be held at,
Charles Park.
Okay.
Yeah, they
So-
have a bunch of groups coming, and it's great to see that the tradition is continuing, because it's kind of been teeter-tottering on whether members are helping out, and all those organizations are starting to slowly die.
Right, because, Tony Serna was involved in...
He still is.
Oh, really?
I
Okay.
remember. But it's great that they're doing the parade again, and we're well in line. We got some help from Mayor Copeland and some support to continue that tradition.
I hope the horses will be that. That was my favorite part, seeing the horses dancing down the streets.
And I told you, but it's nothing like when you're coming down Main Street, then you hit Columbus Drive, and you just see thousands of people.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm talking about it now, I'm getting goosebumps. It's just, you can't prepare yourself, but when you round that corner, and you just see thousands of people lined up
Yes.
along the street, I'd be extremely proud.
And it
every time.
was when he says that, it was for the first time we flew a drone over the parade last year.
Did you?
And when you hit that corner, it was like, wow.
So East Chicago has their own drone now?
Yes.
We fly it occasionally. It gives a better perspective on projects, especially.
That's
really cool.
fantastic.
And the footage that you see with the lakefront project that we're doing in the marina and out at the lakefront at the beach, when you fly the drone over it, and then you can see that 5,000 foot height or whatever it is for a drone.
If I fly at that high, I'll go to jail.
Whatever.
You're getting into airspace where those planes
But I'm
flying
trying to
out
say,
of
when you
Gary
see it from
Airport.
that height and you're looking down, and then you can see all of the pieces put together, then you can truly see the puzzle. We're doing great things out at the lakefront and the marina. We've completely revamped our marina with all new piers and everything. If you get a chance, go out there, see. We're also, the entry coming into Aldous Avenue, we're doing that bridge over now as we speak. At the base of the bridge will be a roundabout that will be able to allow the Ameristar traffic to go in the direction it needs, Arsenal Middle traffic to go in the direction down into the marina. It's really going to have sculptural features added to it. It's going to be a beautiful destination place to go.
When is the completion plan for that project?
You look at it around April of
April?
next year.
Okay, great. I see we're already getting into fall festivals.
Yeah, we have plenty of stuff planned. Of course, we got the Kielbasa Fest. There's been a lot of chatter about it.
Yeah.
I went down to Hobart to have dinner, and there was a group of people there, some from Crown Point, Shelby, like, yeah, we heard about it. I'm like, well, great. So hopefully you guys make it down to the Kielbasa Fest this Saturday.
Yeah, Stan was on the radio this morning from Big Frank's, and I know he's excited.
Yeah, Kosciuszko, and then we have our EC Hollow is going to be our Halloween 2-day event at also at Kosciuszko Park. And, we have trunk or treat for the kids. There'll be a haunted house. We have a haunted trail as well. There'll be games, hay rides, refreshments, marshmallow roasting, tons of stuff. And we also have a movie in the park when we're going to be showing Beetlejuice. So it's going to be lots of
And
activity.
it's free to everyone. It's free to everyone.
That's great. Sandra, I know you have something coming up for the seniors, right?
Yes, Park and Recreation and the mayor always have things planned for the seniors. We have an event for the Spirit of Chicago Cruise. It's at Navy Pier on September 12th. If you want more information, definitely they can call Park and Recreation at 391-8476.
And how much do seniors have to pay for that?
The $40
That's
for
$40.
residents and $45 non-resident.
And you can't beat that because the Spirit of Chicago is usually a lot more than that.
And the highlight of that, Burley, they always coax me out on the dance floor. Man, I mean, I had the line dance with about 15 to 20 seniors last time, and man, that was
Could you keep up with them there?
no.
Last year was really fun. Though.
It was.
It was really fun.
So is there a bus that takes them out there?
Yes, we have 3 buses, 3 bus loads full of people going, and this year we're going to have live entertainment. Where they'll be doing imitations of like Barry White, Jackie Wilson. So we're going to have our own live entertainment that we provide for them, interactive entertainment.
So you'll be bringing your own
We'll be
entertainment?
bringing our own, and we're taking it to another level this year.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's the nice thing about the Special Events Committee and working closely with Park and Recreation. We're trying to improve every year.
They told me to get out of the way, Bertie. I'm telling
And
you.
you're getting out of the way, Mayor.
Get out of the way.
That's rare for you, right?
Yeah.
Hey, he said he
He's always
wanted
been in
wow.
control, right?
He said he wanted wow, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
We want to bring something unique to East Chicago, and Fusic was definitely
Yes, it was.
a unique, beautiful festival that we were happy to put together.
Yeah.
And now, Verley, we're channeling everything to the lakefront. That's why we're investing so many dollars, millions and millions, probably to date, about $19 million in improvement along our lakefront. When we have our harbor walk, you'll be able to walk all the way around in the marina area and walk past the Ameristar and go all the way to the back of the beach. Trails, we have sculptural features coming in at stages that we're going to be putting up, permanent and mobile. Piped in music, a splash pad, picnic areas, sheltered picnic areas, volleyball nets and stuff on the beach. We're gonna have these cabana chairs. Man, I can go on and on and on. I told you, they told me get out of the way.
East Chicago is sounding more and more like the best place to live in Northwest Indiana. I know you still had 2 pools open this summer, right?
Yes.
Plus the splash pad at the beach. So that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, eventually, Spirit of Chicago might be able to dock right at your own marina.
Well, and what we're hoping for when we said and done, it's gonna be the Spirit of East Chicago.
Okay.
People will have to leave out of it.
Did he really?
Did I tell you guys that?
Really, he's been saying that, and
Really?
we're trying to figure that out.
We ain't gonna go to East Chicago. We're gonna wine and dine and right here in our own city.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's,
We also have Shipshawana in September and Cover Bridge in October.
So these are bus tours?
Yes, Four Winds Casino in November. Any who are interested in, going to these places, they can certainly call Parks and Recreation to get more information about these different events that we got going on for the seniors.
Okay, and who would they speak to there?
They can speak to any staff member there.
Could you give a phone number so
Sure,
that listeners know?
391-8476. And they can give them all the details.
Okay.
Mhm.
And the fee is nominal for this?
Yeah,
event?
normally, I mean, it's nothing over 50. Covered Bridge is $25 for residents, 30 for non. I think it's reasonable. You're being transported there, and you enjoy your time, and you come back. I think it's a good fee for these type of events.
Oh, yeah, I've been to the Covered Bridge Festival. It's wonderful, and it's
Yeah.
great if you can just ride down there and not have to drive yourself.
Right.
So East Chicago always improving the quality of life for their residents.
Yeah.
and don't forget, sign up for Nixle if you want.
Yeah.
All right, so tell people how they do that.
888-777, and then just type in EC Events.
EC
And
Events.
you'll get notified about everything. You can also just put in your zip code, but you'll be getting more notifications from the area pertinent to your zip code. So there's 2 different ways you can do that. And if we have a future event that you want to know about, like say next year, we'll have something just for Fusic Fest. You can sign up just for Fusic Fest and just get notifications only about that. So we can custom tailor those notices for you in the future.
Sounds great. 845-1100 is the number to call if you have any questions concerning things that are happening in the city of East Chicago. Now, Steve, if someone is listening to us today here on WJOB, but they want to actually see the program and see the mayor and Sandra and yourself, what channel do they go to in East Chicago?
That's Channel 21 on Comcast, and then 99 in Uverse, but it's under a submenu. So, and if you can't see it there, you can always watch our shows on either YouTube or on our Facebook page at ECTV.
Okay, great. And of course, Malcolm always does such a great job of, making sure that the quality is perfect. Right, Malcolm?
And Vanna, you mentioned there's a lot of things going on in East Chicago. I think the 2 weeks that I've been working with the mayor, there's not a day that he doesn't see. He sees all the hard work that the employees do out there. He has a great dedicated department head staff. He has great employees that is trying to make his vision true.
And also, to whom much is expected, much will be given. I mean, this is the 5th year in a row that we've been able to give bonuses to our workers.
Really?
Yes, in 15, that was a beautiful year. We were able to give a 3% raise and a bonus on top of that. We are moving toward continually being fiscally sound. And so I look for the city of East Chicago to have a bright financial future, to where, though I demand much, any and every chance I get to give back, we give back. And I tell people it's a rising tide effect. You have to be able to get more income, but at the same time, equipment to work with. And that's the part I try to get fire and police to see. We've been able to in 4 years, completely put a brand new fleet of fire trucks in. We've probably replaced 80% of our squad cars. They got a gun range coming in. They got a simulator coming in where they can reenact real life situations, and their training dollars have tripled. I try to tell them, you got to do all this at the same time. You know, if you get the money and then you got poor equipment, that puts you at risk. So you want this thing to come up and rise at the same time. But I tell people that East Chicago is poised for greatness, and maybe people want to be stuck in the past and look at yesteryear and say, well, East Chicago, this and that and that. You know, I think as time goes on, we'll make a believer out of all of them.
Well, you definitely have kept this believer going. and definitely by your choice as your interim chief of
Yes.
staff, you know, the diversity of having a woman in that role. Of course, a shout out to Irene,
the first
your
one.
administrative assistant, because she is like on the ball. She's the gatekeeper.
And she's the first woman in this position.
That's amazing. The first woman in the East Chicago history chief of staff.
I know, I'm humbled, I really am.
And like I said, she didn't see it coming. Steve didn't see it coming. No one saw it.
No,
I kept it close to my chest. But I think that the quality she brings, she listens. If she can help you, she's going to help you. It's not so much as a heavy-handed approach that she have. She think her way through stuff, and she enjoys what she does. You know?
Did you ever think you'd be here?
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, the way it happened, I was talking business with the mayor, this, that, and bam, he asked me like,
But not only that, Bertie, I did it in a medieval way.
Oh, no, what did you do, Mayor?
I went and I said, Sandra, I'm in search of a new chief of staff.
Oh, yes,
Find me 3 names.
Yes.
The chief of staff.
yes.
And she went out, she brought me back 3 names. So she was oblivious that she was even in the running.
So was this, like you say, the medieval way, was this just to see who she would come up with?
Who she would come up with, and because that would tell me qualities about herself. You know, I didn't tell her what I was looking for. I just thought I'm looking for a chief of staff, but I didn't tell her what qualities in the chief of staff I was looking for. So the reflection of her picks will be a reflection of her. You know, so, and I looked at the choices, then I told her, explain to me why you picked these folks. And she went to explain. I said, okay. I said, okay. And then a couple days later, you know, I called her down to the office, and then I said, you know, I want to talk to you about something. And I told her I was making a few moves in the human resources office.
Did you think you were about to be fired?
Yeah, watch this. So I told her, I said, well, move this person up, and then this person's going to do this, and this, and this, and this. And I said something about everybody but her. And she told me, she said, what about Sandra?
Where am I in this whole equation here?
You were out of the equation.
And she couldn't figure out, then I said, then that's when I broke the news to her that she would be chief of staff.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Of course, you've been listening to the City of East Chicago show. Our show is coming to an end. Of course, we're going to be staying tuned to Veterans Views, our award-winning program here in WJOB. Mayor Copeland, thank you for being
Thank
with
you,
us this
Mary.
morning. Sandra Favela, the new Chief of Staff of the City of East Chicago, welcome.
Thank you.
Steve Segura, welcome. Thank you for coming today. And Malcolm Jones. Definitely tune in, Channel 21 in East Chicago.
See you at Kielbasa Fest.
Okay.